A woman in your circle is preparing to walk into your life as if nothing happened. Archangel Michael says, not every silence is peaceful. Not every smile is honest. Not every return is a sign of love. She's been circling the edges of your life like a shadow that refused to dissolve. She pretended to disappear when the heat rose, vanished into the mist while you were hurting. But now, she's preparing to come back, silently, smoothly, like nothing ever happened. She has watched you grow stronger without her. She has felt the shift in your aura, the glow in your stride, the rise in your energy. But instead of reaching for an apology, she's rehearsing a return without acknowledgement of the storm she left you in. You were supposed to be broken beyond repair, weren't you? But you rebuilt, slowly, silently, with grace and fire. You became the version of yourself that doesn't kneel in front of manipulation anymore. Archangel Michael says, the heavens have whispered your name for protection countless times. That's why your peace has been preserved, even when this woman tried to inject poison through fake kindness. Now, she believes enough time has passed that you'll accept her with no questions, no memory, no resistance. She's been watching your life from a distance, checking in through mutual connections, crafting conversations to test the waters. She's already spoken your name in rooms that echo with jealousy, just to see who still defends you. Don't mistake her return for reconciliation. This is not healing, it is strategy. She is not remorseful, she is repositioning. This woman has been speaking about you without speaking to you. She's been building her next entrance while pretending the last exit wasn't destructive. Now she wants to press reset on a story you paid for in tears. You, chosen one, are no longer the same. Your energy is no longer naive, no longer thirsty for validation. Your intuition is sharper now. It hums when she's near. She believes the silence between you two is a doorway. But to you, it's a locked vault holding everything she broke. She doesn't know that you've upgraded the locks, thrown away the spare keys, and repainted the memory. Archangel Michael says, she will walk in with softness, but her energy will carry weight. She will try to smile with lips that once whispered your secrets in the wrong ears. She will try to hug you with arms that once folded in comfort to your enemies. You'll feel her before you see her. You'll sense the familiar cold breeze even in the summer heat. Your soul will remember what your heart tried to forget. And when she speaks, her words will be measured. She'll avoid the past like it's fire. She'll shift the topic before accountability has a chance to enter. She may even cry. Tears not for what she did, but for how you've become unreachable. She is mourning the control she used to have over you. But you, beloved, are not required to entertain ghosts who wear perfume. You don't need to accept a presence that never respected your peace. You are under no obligation to open your healed wounds just to offer her comfort. Let her talk. Let her spin the story she rehearsed in her head while you were healing in silence. Let her think she can walk in as if she didn't walk out when you needed her most. But don't open the door out of habit. Don't welcome her out of guilt. Don't mistake familiarity for loyalty. She left you in chaos. She left when storms knocked on your roof and all you needed was someone to stay. And now she returns in sunshine, hoping you forgot who fled in rain. She will say, "Hey, how have you been?" But what she means is, "Are you still vulnerable enough to let me in?" Her casual tone is a test. She'll laugh off the past. Act like it wasn't as serious as your wounds say it was. She will want you to pretend like she didn't vanish when loyalty was needed most. But the truth is, your energy has moved to higher ground. Your doors are guarded by discernment now. Your spirit doesn't shake for returning actors in your old play. She wants to play a role in your current life, forgetting she exited during your darkest chapter. But you've rewritten the script. Her part is no longer required. You owe her nothing, not space, not silence, not a smile. You owe yourself everything: peace, protection, and permission to say no. Let her come, but let her witness the version of you that doesn't bend. She might bring gifts, guilt wrapped in kindness, manipulation disguised as care. But your soul knows. It tightens at the sound of her voice. It recoils when her name is spoken without warning. You've grown too much to return to a space that suffocated you. You've learned too much to be gaslit into forgiveness without apology. You've sacrificed too much to let history repeat in high heels. You are not unkind for remembering. You are not bitter for protecting your peace. You are not cruel for closing the door she walked out of. You don't have to explain why her presence no longer feels right. You don't have to justify why you're not smiling as wide. Your intuition speaks a language her words cannot silence. She may try again, and again, until she realizes the door she once walked through has vanished. You are not the same home. Your heart is not the same room. The lights are brighter now, and her shadows can't stay long. Even if others say, forgive, even if they say, give her another chance, remember, they weren't there when she left you buried under silence. You rose alone. You cried alone. You grew alone. And now, you stand not out of spite, but from survival. Not out of anger, but out of honor for the person you've become. You're not rejecting her. You're protecting yourself. This is not just about boundaries. This is about spiritual insulation. This is about honoring your sacred rebirth. You may nod. You may smile politely. But you won't forget. The woman in your circle is preparing to walk into your life as if nothing happened. But you, chosen one, have seen the truth. And you are no longer playing along in silence. You're walking in clarity. You're anchored in wisdom. You're guarded by angels. And Archangel Michael says, not every returning person deserves a seat in your new beginning. Let her knock. But let your silence answer. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. She thought time would erase her betrayal from your memory. She believed your kindness would override your discernment. But she underestimated how much you evolved in her absence. This return isn't a reunion. It's a test from the universe. A divine checkpoint to see if your healing was surface level or sacred. You've been blessed with clarity. Not everyone is granted the ability to recognize the same wound in a different disguise. But you, chosen one, are walking in that rare wisdom. She may arrive dressed in softness, words rehearsed, emotions curated, but behind her eyes, the same intention flickers. There's a reason she's coming now. When your light has grown, when your name carries weight, she misses the access. She misses the power she once had to twist your reality gently and make you question your own heart. But this time, your heart doesn't question, it confirms. This time, your body doesn't lean forward, it tightens. This time, your spirit doesn't hope, it shields. The peace you carry was not free. It was bought with sleepless nights, silent suffering, and internal battles no one saw. Now, someone wants to return and claim comfort in a house they helped burn down. She will not speak of the moment she chose distance over support. She will not address the times her name was on your tongue while you cried in the dark. Instead, she'll act like you paused time, like the world waited for her to feel ready. Archangel Michael says, you are not required to welcome people who walked away when you were breaking. Forgiveness does not mean reunion. Growth does not mean gullibility. She will try to blur the lines, mix past joy with current discomfort. But your soul knows that mixing poison with perfume doesn't make it safe. She's been gone too long. Not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, and energetically. And you filled the spaces she left with stronger foundations. Your life has moved forward. Your circles have shrunk but become sacred. Your heart now beats to the rhythm of truth, not tolerance. Let her try. Let her smile. Let her return. But let your boundaries do what your tears once couldn't, protect you. Let your silence carry the weight your words no longer need to. Let your strength speak before your lips ever do. And when she realizes you don't flinch anymore, when she sees that you don't stumble when her name is whispered, that's when the real power shift will dawn on her. She's not coming to apologize. She's coming to reclaim territory that no longer belongs to her. She's coming to see if you still remember the version of yourself who needed her. But that version is gone. You've evolved. And that evolution is irreversible. The way she left was loud, even if no words were spoken. The void she left was deep, even if you tried to ignore it. But the way she returns? It's calculated. She believes kindness is enough to erase the impact. She thinks convenience can replace accountability. But your spirit does not forget the hands that let go when you were falling. Even if she brings gifts, even if she offers assistance, even if she mirrors the love she once denied you, remain rooted. Your presence is the gift now. Your energy is the currency. And not everyone has earned access to it again. Archangel Michael says, do not be tempted by the illusion of healing without the substance of truth. Do not confuse closure with comfort. And do not be afraid to stand firm in your no. You do not need drama. You do not need revenge. You simply need discernment. Walk forward, head high, spirit protected. Because the woman coming back into your life is banking on your softness. But what she doesn't know is that your softness now comes with steel. And your forgiveness walks beside memory, not amnesia. Let your eyes see what your heart once excused. Let your soul feel what your mind once ignored. And most of all, trust your unease. Because this is not just a return. It's a rerun. And you've already seen how that episode ends. This time, you don't have to prove anything. Not to her. Not to them. Not to anyone. You've already survived what was meant to crush you. You're not bitter. You're clear. You're not angry. You're awakened. You're not cold. You're cautious. She may not recognize this version of you. And that's okay. She wasn't around for the journey that shaped it. Don't give explanations to those who didn't check in. Don't extend comfort to those who caused discomfort. And don't lower your standards to match old stories. You were made to rise. You were built for peace. You are sustained by purpose. Her return is not your responsibility. Her apology is not your fuel. Her presence is not your prize. You're past that. Beyond that. Better than that. Let her watch you from the distance. Let her speak your name in curiosity. Let her wonder how she lost access to someone like you. Because the truth is, she didn't lose you. She never valued you to begin with. She gambled with loyalty, and lost. You are the blessing. You are the storm and the calm. You are the one heaven has protected. And so, when she steps forward, let her feel the weight of her absence. Let her feel the power of your healing. Let her witness your rise. But never let her pull you back into the fire she once left you in. The chapter is closed, the lesson is learned, and the author, you, has moved on. This is your story now, and you get to decide who stays, who leaves, and who no longer has a role, even if they walk in like nothing happened. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Even if she returns wearing innocence like a shawl, even if her eyes soften and her voice trembles, you must remember, guilt wears many masks, but energy never lies. There was a time when her silence screamed louder than words. When her absence in your battles made her position clear. She wasn't just missing, she was choosing to be gone. Now she wants to rewrite history with a smile. She wants to act as if you're the one holding on to things too tightly. But in truth, you're not holding on to the past, you're guarding your peace. You're not angry anymore. You're just awake. And that, chosen one, is a sacred thing. Archangel Michael says, many will try to re-enter your life when they sense you've built something powerful. Not out of love, not out of loyalty, but out of curiosity, envy, or entitlement. She is one of them. She is returning not to build, but to borrow. Not to help, but to hover. She seeks access, not connection. And if you allow her in, she'll slip into your world the way poison slips into tea, quiet, unnoticed, sweetened with good intentions. But your discernment is your shield. Your elevation has made your soul sensitive to misalignment. You're no longer the version of yourself who accepted crumbs, who explained their value, who begged people to treat you right. You've shifted timelines. You've realigned with destiny. And the woman who left you is not prepared for the new climate you now exist in. She's expecting the same patterns, the same openness, the same access. But you've sealed the doors. You've changed the locks. And the key she once held no longer fits. Let her be surprised. Let her be confused. Let her wonder why your energy no longer opens for her. This is the reward of healing. You gain peace that cannot be disturbed by people who once thrived in your chaos. You become untouchable, not in arrogance, but in alignment. She may ask to catch up. She may say she misses you. But those words don't touch your soul anymore, because your soul has grown too wise to be deceived by familiarity. Even if she posts about you, mentions you to others, or paints herself as the one who tried to fix things, do not be moved. Your journey speaks louder than her words. Your light speaks louder than her stories. Your integrity speaks louder than her return. Let her approach. Let her try. But do not dim your truth to make her comfortable. Because she's not just returning to you, she's returning to a version of her guilt that's been haunting her. She thinks proximity to your peace will relieve her shame. But peace is not transferable. Healing is not borrowed. And trust cannot be faked. You no longer extend bridges to those who burn them. You no longer decorate your boundaries with cushions. You no longer romanticize people who vanished when you bled. She's looking for a shortcut to your presence. But presence is earned, not claimed. And this time, you are the gatekeeper. You can be polite without being permissive. You can be respectful without being receptive. You can be silent without being submissive. She will try again. Perhaps with softness. Perhaps with desperation. Perhaps with nostalgia. But you don't owe your present to someone who dishonored your past. You are not the villain for remembering. You are not the enemy for evolving. You are not harsh for closing the chapter. She had her chance. She made her choice. Now, let her live with it. Because when you needed her, she vanished. And now that she needs you, she's trying to erase that history. But heaven kept the records. The angels witnessed the silence. Archangel Michael says, when you feel unease as someone approaches, it is not paranoia, it is prophecy. Your spirit remembers what your mind was forced to forget. And this time, you will not silence that spirit. The woman in your circle may walk in with flowers. But flowers cannot decorate betrayal. And timing does not cancel out truth. Let her see your growth. Let her see your elevation. But let her feel the distance she created. You don't need revenge. You don't need a scene. Your silence will be the loudest answer. You have arrived at a place in life where peace is non-negotiable. Where apologies must be followed by actions, not just timing. Where history cannot be rewritten just because someone regrets their exit. You are surrounded now by true connections. By people who don't flinch when you're vulnerable. By souls who don't run when the skies darken. And in that circle, this woman no longer fits. Let her realize it. Let her feel the transformation she once thought she could delay. Because you, beloved, are no longer reachable by energy that isn't rooted. You're no longer touchable by lips that once told lies about you. You're no longer available to hearts that didn't beat for you when it mattered. Let her walk in. But do not open your arms. Because arms that once held storms don't reach out to rain anymore. You are more than her memories. More than her regrets. More than her second thoughts. She may say, let's move on. But you've already moved forward. And where you're going, not everyone is meant to follow. Let the doors stay closed. Let the light stay bright. Let your discernment speak the final word. Because this time, you are not letting her in. Not because of hate, but because of healing. Not because of ego, but because of evolution. You do not go back to the places you prayed to escape. You do not invite back the very pain you learned to live without. You do not confuse her return with divine timing. It's a test, not a sign. And you, chosen one, have already passed. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. You passed not because you rejected her, but because you finally accepted yourself. Because the version of you she once manipulated has been buried under layers of self-respect. Because the love you gave away so freely before is now guarded by truth, by boundaries, by light. She will feel it the moment she sees you. that her grip is gone, that her words, once a spell, now fall powerless against your grounded soul. Don't let her confuse time with healing. Just because months passed doesn't mean wounds are erased. Time didn't fix it, you did. You stood up when no one reached out. You rose from betrayals that should have shattered you. You built a sanctuary within your own spirit. And now, that same spirit will not tolerate false peace. It will not allow pretenders at your table. It will not reward absence with access. She may come with stories, stories of how life humbled her, stories of how she always meant well, stories of how things just got difficult. But you no longer trade your clarity for excuses. You no longer open your energy to people who leave without warning. You no longer pretend that damage doesn't matter just because the destroyer came back with soft eyes. This isn't bitterness. This is balance. This is sacred protection. You've found the rhythm of your soul again. You've learned how to dance in your own energy. And no one, not even her, gets to disturb the music now. She missed the most important part. The part where you cried silently. The part where you prayed through pain. The part where you chose growth over vengeance. She wasn't there when it mattered. But now, when the sun is out and you're glowing, she wants to stand beside you like she helped build the light. But this light wasn't shared, it was earned. It wasn't gifted, it was fought for. And it does not flicker for those who didn't help shield the flame. Archangel Michael says, just because someone returns doesn't mean they belong again. Just because someone feels regret doesn't mean they've changed. Just because someone comes in peace doesn't mean they didn't once bring war. Her presence is not proof of growth. Her timing is not divine, it's desperate. Her return is not your signal to open the gates. You owe her nothing. Not your heart. Not your time. Not your softness. The door she left through led to a different life. And in that life, you no longer reside in brokenness. You live in purpose. Let her observe, but not interfere. Let her reflect, but not return. Let her learn that love is not a revolving door. She will smile, hoping to trigger your old patterns. She will say your name like it still belongs to her story. She will pause, expecting your energy to bridge the distance. But this time, you won't. This time, you let the pause stay silent. This time, you won't fill the gaps she created. You won't lean in. You won't explain yourself. You won't pretend nothing happened. Because everything happened. And pretending otherwise would betray your growth. You are no longer available for emotional amnesia. She may try guilt. She may say things like, "You've changed," as if that's a flaw, when in truth, it's the greatest testimony. Yes, you've changed. You've evolved beyond manipulation. You've matured past emotional blackmail. You've graduated from chaos dressed as connection. And if that makes you cold, so be it. If that makes you hard, let it. If that makes you different, wear it with honor. You are no longer choosing people who choose you last. You are no longer entertaining energies that drain your purpose. You are no longer apologizing for protecting your peace. Let her stand at the gate. Let her knock with familiar rhythm. But let her realize that rhythm no longer opens doors here. This is your sanctuary now. Built from betrayal. Fortified through faith. Sealed with silence. There is no room for revision. There is no space for temporary loyalty. There is no time for pretending. You have become what she never expected, whole, unshakable, unreachable, not out of ego, but out of survival, out of self-love. This isn't about rejection, it's about resurrection. And the version of you that died in her absence will never rise again for her comfort. This is your altar now, and not everyone gets to pray beside it. Not everyone gets to walk on holy ground they once disrespected. Let her witness the miracle, but don't let her distort it. She had her chance. She chose her silence. Now you choose your boundaries. You choose your stillness. You choose your rebirth. And you own no explanations, no replays, no soft entries. The woman in your circle is preparing to walk into your life as if nothing happened. But you, Divine One, have already turned the page. And some characters are simply not written into the next chapter. Archangel Michael says, you are covered. You are protected. And your story is unfolding exactly as it should, without her. Let her come. Let her try. But do not let her stay. Not anymore. Not again. Not this version of you. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20.